Hi, my name's Phil from Driftworks, and today, it's that day we've been waiting for. We've got a Lamborghini update. So it's been an absolute age since we last did an update on this car on the channel. If you're new to the channel, first time watching us, then please consider subscribing. We've got lots of stuff going on like this at the moment. This is the pièce de résistance though. Gaz has been super hard at work at it during lockdown with minimal staff, kind of locked away. And yeah, there's nothing more to do than to simply show you.
Break it on down.
Here he is, the man himself, master artist. Do you reckon you're an artist?
You're called lots of things, whatever fits at the time.
Yeah, well, you are the man who is basically making my vision reality. So yeah, thank you very much, mate, for all the work that you put into this recently. It's absolutely incredible. So what we're quickly going to do, or what I'm going to quickly do, is give you a quick roundup of the basics of the car, of what it is as it sits here now, and then once I've done kind of a basic walk around, at the end of that we'll do another one with Gaz, going into a bit more detail about what it's taken to make this look like this, to get to this stage. So yeah, let's get stuck in. So everybody, welcome to my 2006 Lamborghini Murcielago LP640. 2007 chassis code, some weird stuff on Lamborghinis as to why that works out that way, but yeah, it's one of the first LP640s that was ever delivered in the UK. Right hand drive, correct hand drive, and yeah, did not look anything like this 6-7 months ago. So I've always had like a huge love for the R-GT cars, obviously. I don't know whether you can tell. An R-GT is basically a Murcielago race car. No road legal versions to speak of, apart from the one that's in Japan, because you can register anything in Japan, which is awesome. But that is a race car. This is a road car. This is my road car, and it will remain a road car as well. So it's not a conversion into a race car. It is basically an upgrade from road car to sort of GT1 look road car. And as you can probably guess, it escalated a little bit. Not that that ever happens, but so what we had to do, basically this is an LMGT1 front end. So the wings, these are wings by the way, America fenders, yeah. But the wings, the front bumper, the splitter, the rear spoiler, part of the side skirts, and if you look at the back here, diffuser and rear bumper, and I think that's it. All of these bits are off the 2008 Le Mans Reiter Engineering GT1 car. It was like the Inter-Progress Bank car, I think it was actually called. But yeah, these are the actual panels off that car that sat in storage at Reiter Engineering for many, many years, until an idiot with an idea came along. We're just on some temporary wheels at the moment, waiting for the ultimate solution to be made, kind of halfway there, or was halfway there, then it's all gone to shit, and then it might be coming back to being good again. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see on that. But these are temporary wheels. These are work wheels. These are M8Rs. They're a set of wheels that we sell for BMWs. It's just a 19 by 10.5 ET32, which is a perfect fitment for what we've done on this car, which is basically make all new suspension at the front. But yeah, we'll go through that detail a bit later on. Rears are still the ADV ones that I had on the car before. With the new archwork, they're just wearing a couple of spaces behind at the moment. So that's probably the basics, the visuals of it. So let's have a walk around with Gaz and we can show you a few of the details. Best place to start, at the front. The most difficult part of the entire thing, because when we dropped this off to Gaz, we'd already done a lot of the work to make clearance for the wheels, moving the hinges in the doors, moving that mount point inside the door, and creating new ones at the top here, making all the space that we needed, all new suspension, which is coilover, upper arm, lower arm, completely fabricated at Dynotorque, and modified the uprights as well, the knuckles, with 80mm of roll centre correction. So that should all work really nicely. But yeah, when we brought it to our man Gaz here, it wasn't exactly as simple as just plonking these panels over the top of it. There's been plenty of pictures that I've put up over the whole build process where the panels have been plonked onto the car. It looks absolutely awesome. And yeah, I wouldn't blame a lot of people for thinking, well, it's nearly done, isn't it? That was 7 months ago.
Something like that,
Yeah, 7 months ago. And yeah, the work involved to actually get these to fit, bolt to the chassis securely enough for a car that is potentially capable of 200 plus mile an hour, wing dependent. There has been a hell of a lot of work. So do you want to start with just telling people what you had to do with the frame of it, to brace it all?
Basically, you just had to cut it all off and start again with it. It doesn't matter which way we tried to fit the panels, in what order, we couldn't get majority of it lined up, so there was always 2 or 3 big compromises.
Yeah. We actually, so we'd kind of got really close with it after spending about 2 or 3 weeks doing it. It was kind of fitted reasonably nicely on the one side. Could not get a head around why it looked different on this side. It sat differently, and the door gap was completely different. So basically had to go back to the drawing board again, didn't we?
Yeah, I think it's about 6 times the front end's been kind of attached and then removed and like extensively adjusted and then put back on. We got to the point where it was just, we took it all off, stood back, started again with the whole thing.
Yeah, you and I did an alignment on the car, because I had aligned it before I bought it to you, but yeah, we just wanted to double check that there wasn't an issue with wheel position in the arch. But now that was confirmed as all perfect, toe was perfect, and then you just basically had to get working with steel box section essentially, which is what the car is as standard.
Took it all off, checked everything was square on the front end, which you and Craig did, which was absolutely spot on, so it had to be the panels and everything else we've done. Basically, got laid some box section inside the splitter, bolted it at each end, and then pinned it to the bottom of the framework that we knew was straight, and that kind of put us on the right path then, and things started working out with a lot of time and messing. It kind of started lining up. We started getting consistent gaps. All the way through, right up until the sort of final fitment. We've still had to adjust little bits and modify the panels slightly. But it's all kind of evolved from there then.
Because I don't think I was very clear. These panels do not just bolt onto this chassis. Everything that we've cut out, obviously, that was supporting stuff for the normal wings and bumpers and everything like that. The race car is almost literally cut at the bulkhead, and there's nothing Murcielago on it at all. So every one of the fastening tabs for the GT1 panels was non-existent. We didn't have the frames in the right place, we didn't have the apertures in the right place. They obviously don't have a working, is it a frunk, I think it's called in America. So we've still got a full boot space in it, so I can still put whatever crap I want in there, usually a trolley jack or something like that. So yeah, it's a bit hard for us to show you in detail the box section at the moment, but basically a standard car is carbon panels supported by steel box section tubing. It's incredibly crude, but that's the same for most cars of this era. And there was nothing better for us to do it with in this respect, to make sure that we still got some kind of crash structure as much as anything, because it is a road car. Although most people would probably end up going over the top of it nowadays. I would have. So on to one of my favourite bits, one of most people's favourite bits, the front wings or fenders, with these massive louvers, the grills. They were a lot of fun, weren't they, mate?
Yeah. Me and Chris have got no fingers left.
So these were painted white, and I think you said it's one of the most solid bits of paintwork you've ever experienced.
It might be hard. It's like, if all cars were painted like that, you wouldn't get stone chips.
They got some special secret, obviously.
Yeah. Don't know what it is. It doesn't come off easy.
Yeah, but basically, yeah, these were fully white. They were, not in perfect condition at all. They came off a used race car that had been repaired multiple times. And actually, we think that the wings were a big part of why we initially couldn't get this front end lined up equal left and right. Is because it was the other side. It was about 5 mil longer.
5 mil shorter.
5 mil shorter.
So we ended up with a big door gap. Every time we tried to correct the gap, the whole front end was shifting around with it to try and compensate, and it just wasn't working. Yeah.
So once we got a head wrapped around that, it actually made things a lot easier. But this was basically just hours and hours, or days and days of labour.
About 18 hours, I think, between the two of us, just flattening those.
And they're not done yet, obviously.
There's still a little bit to finish off.
None of this is done. This is just basically Gaz has very kindly sort of got a little bit out of the way, got all the panels on, plonked on, kind of semi-temporarily again, just so we can do this walk around, because I know you guys have been asking for it for years. So yeah, moving on to nicely from the fantastic front wings, which didn't look like this shape at the back exactly, did they?
No.
Into the doors, which definitely didn't look anything like this. So what did you have to do to make this door?
Once we got the wing fitted, we cut the ends off the GT side skirts, which gave us the corner profile, but then all of that had to be blended in first.
Yeah.
They're normally quite sort of square and straight.
I wasn't a fan, so I decided to make your life difficult.
It always looks a bit sort of naff at the rear for a road car, and with the cooler and stuff needed to stay where it was.
Yeah, so actually, we'll jump ahead a little bit. This side skirt is a combination of a standard LP640 side skirt and the GT1 R-GT side skirt. So the outer shape, if you look down here, this shape, that's R-GT, and then the bottom of it as well but it's kind of blended into standard LP640 there, and back to R-GT here. But basically they stick out quite a bit wider, but they also have the all-important LP640 standard Murcielago like profile there, so they scoop in dramatically rather than being super square-sided, which I really wasn't a fan of on the race car part. That then basically allowed you to sort of start coming up with a shape for the door.
Try and lock the wing into place, so we had to put like a return edge there, because they're normally just bolted on the outside on the race car.
Yeah.
The whole of this profile had to be extended because of the way it was cut, to allow for, I suppose, bigger slicks or whatever they run.
Yeah, it was rough as anything, wasn't it? So it wasn't a constant radius at all.
So we didn't know at that point how the ride height was going to be, so we just extended it by about 2 inches.
Yeah.
As a sort of base point. Then from when we got the wings on, we've kept the original sort of lugs in between the bumper and the wing, because it locks it in really tight and solid.
Yeah.
So we put an extra 2 fastenings in. Then this side of it, same again, got really interesting. There was nothing there at all to pin it to. We've ended up cutting the gutter out, the rain gutter out, extending that into a position that took behind the wing, and then extending the wing down so we could do bolted fastenings down the aperture, as well as the rear as well. Same again, nothing cut there.
Yeah. So it's bolted now. It's actually, if we need to take this apart, they're kind of one of the first things that come off.
First thing that will come off. I mean, it's on and it's solid. There's about 8 bolts that hold the panel on.
Yeah.
With a bit of framework to support it as well.
Yeah.
makes it a lot easier when you have to mess with the suspension, probably to lower it more.
Yeah, because it is not the easiest thing to jack up, as you know full well.
Hence the wheel stands that we had made for it. It just got to the point where it was impossible to try and figure things out.
Yeah.
And having to keep taking the splitter off, jacking it up.
Yeah.
So we needed to do it all built, and we didn't have space for a 4-poster ramp, so
yeah.
It's the next best thing for us.
Yeah, you've still, even since then, you've done more than your fair share of crawling around on the floor, but it gives you the access.
Perfect height for us to work on, top, bottom, front, back.
Yeah.
Without sort of tripping over stuff, so
it looks absolutely magical. And like, there's going to be loads of stuff, by the way, that I miss in this video because it's been done over the course of many months. But some of the details that I'll quickly point out to you is like, actually this section here, I was super obsessive about wanting this to work out nicely. So it's obviously it's wider here, and I wanted it to look consistent here. But actually this was quite a lot higher up here.
Yeah.
It's about 5 mil, wasn't it? Something like that.
Yeah, higher, and it was closer to the slate. It was about 5 million there as well.
Yeah. So I basically asked Gaz to reprofile this, which when you've got so many different curves that way, and there's a little bit that way as well to work with, to try and make this visually look as it does. That was a day's work in itself, wasn't it?
Yeah, nearly a day each side.
I can just see the mirrors poking out here. These are, we're not sure 100% what they are. Possibly they were from Reiter Engineering, supplied for this car, but I think they were possibly off a Gallardo race car or something, because they don't actually have a natural home. As you can see, we've kind of got them sitting on the crease of the door here, and they're just spaced out temporarily until we actually come up with the solution to remake that bit. But that's roughly where they're going to sit. They look incredible, don't they?
I think they seem to fit the car really well.
Yeah.
We just need to work with the base plates now and make a solid fixing for them. So
yeah.
Mainly the positioning we need to get correct.
Yeah, exactly, which is extra complicated because everything for the R-GT cars and even the Gallardos are made for left-hand drive cars. So the mirror actually is maxed out in this position here. We actually need a little bit more than that as well. So yeah, not that they're going to be in that much use, but it'd be nice to be able to see a little bit of something behind me. So let's move. Actually, we were on the doors. We haven't really talked about how much work was involved in those.
Yeah.
Getting this shape that I basically imagined. We've been using lots of pictures off the internet of all the different R-GT cars that have existed that we could find. All of them have got vents and all sorts of different stuff there, so I just really wanted this to be more road car in that particular area. Didn't want a vent. It meant that we basically had to, I'm going to say the royal we, but Gaz basically had to redesign the front edge of the door here, and it's not exactly finished, but I'll quickly show you what he's done. Look at those doors, look at those doors. Doors still go up. So, had to remount those again, didn't you?
Yeah.
So Craig and I did a lot of work to mount them, but actually the way that we'd done it meant that we were going to have to cut a little bit out of the front wing here for them to tip up like this, and Gaz was having none of it, so he caused himself a world of misery and spent another 2 weeks redesigning that. Yeah, so all of that was redone and the strut position was redone, but you'll also notice here that all of this is non-standard. Every part of this has been made out of sheet steel, like the standard car. And you'll also notice the nice little detail that doesn't exist on the R-GT panel that has been added by Gaz, and that's just the mounting point here, which is an extra carbon strip that he's laid up against the wing. So everything mounts really nice and securely. But yeah, that's basically going to keep all the water out. Rocks, whatever else that normally on an R-GT would spray up the door. And again, not finished, there's still work to do, I think you're saying down there.
Yeah, the corner, it's just too hard to work on while it's on the car, so once the skirt comes off, we'll mark it up, finish all that area off. We've still got a bit of carbon weave to put on for strength, so a lot of that can be done off the car, and then just one more trial fit before final primer and paint.
Yeah, I mean, it's everybody else is going to be obviously super obsessed over the outside of the car. I've seen that in my head for quite some time, but you know, I could never have imagined that this would have worked out so neat, so nicely. So this is where the time really comes into this sort of stuff, and why, you know, even after 6-7 months of doing this, it's still a miracle that we're at the point that we are with it. You've done absolutely amazing on it, mate. Tried your best, 'cause we've worked together for many years, haven't we? And you know what I'm like.
Definitely the most challenging vehicle I've probably ever done.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say customer.
No, the work's quite fun. It's nice to have variety and different things coming in and out, and there's always a different vision behind something or a different purpose. You don't just want to paint Corsa bumpers every day of the week, do you? So
no, but you're a very talented guy, obviously. So you know, it's for me to, you know, have all faith in you to do this. You know, we've done
Loads.
plenty of cars over the years, so it's just a couple of them. Yeah, but yeah, these are again sort of ones that I obsessed over visually. A lot of people wouldn't tell the difference, but over a standard car. But this one, obviously, I think pretty much anybody could tell the difference over a standard Murcielago. So onto the rear quarters. Those were easy as well, weren't they, mate?
Yeah.
So I think in the last video we did, which was a very long time ago, I went through the plan of what we were going to do, and then since then I also put up a video of you completing them on my Instagram, which I'll put here.
Break it on down.
So yeah, there's the beautiful rear quarters that you made. What was involved in this?
I think we covered some of the carbon stuff last time.
Oh yeah, we showed most of the process.
Them out, laid them up with carbon for strength, as well as to be able to keep it really thin for the clearance.
Yeah.
We got to the point where we blocked them down. We was happy with pretty much everything on them. Polyester primed them, allowed that to settle up until a couple of weeks ago. Started blocking them down just to check the lines, make sure everything flowed in. Some of the lines we weren't quite happy with, so the bit up here, it seemed to go a bit flat. It seemed like it lost the profile slightly. So we ended up reworking that area, as well as the edge of the bumper. Bumper was never fully skimmed on the outside. I think we've got the rough shape, but since then we've had to put a couple of layers of carbon on the outside. We put one on the inside to reinforce it as well. And we've had to sort of correct all the gap and make sure that's as good as sort of factory on a normal road car.
Yeah, because it was rough. It was real rough.
It was really square. There
Yeah.
was steps in it. There was chunks out the corners.
And again, this is new. So not only did we mentioned it in the last video, but this is all a brand new shape. But actually, the bumper is as well.
Yeah. So where we got rid of the big horrible gap that you normally get on these, obviously that flowed into the bumper as well. So we've extended all of this at least 30-40 mil further forward, to give us a better profile there. So
it just worked out perfectly, didn't it? Like it visually, it looks like it's meant to be for me.
Just flowed in. It doesn't look like anything's been done there, which is
basically
because it's took hours.
Yeah, it's basically my whole sort of thing, isn't it? Make it look like it's meant to be like that.
Yeah.
And then I guess onto the thing that you just cannot miss, the gigantic wing. So this is a gigantic wing, believe it or not. This is a small one. So this is made for the rules of GT1 class Le Mans. It's narrower. So actually, I don't know whether you can see here. See, it's actually narrower than the body of the car, and the normal RGT car, GT1 car, doesn't have widened rear quarter panels, which is what we've done here. So it doesn't have any of that. So yeah, this is the small wing and the small mounts, which are still the plastic ones, aren't they? The temporary ones that we're using at the moment. And down the bottom you will see, first of all, you'll see huge diffuser, which stands out like a sore thumb sometimes, but I actually quite like it as a balanced look.
It doesn't stand out that much. It blends in really well and works with the rest of the car. But
yeah,
that on its own looks a bit weird.
Yeah, absolutely. There's definitely certain angles where I'm not actually even sure about the wing. It's so big and obnoxious, but I think overall the look works brilliantly. Yeah. And also you will notice we've been working on the exhaust tip which is again has been a big challenge because I was wondering whether I was going to go with the Reiter Engineering twin outlet. I really like the LP640, which this isn't though, so decided that I was going to try and make sort of an LP640, LP670 style exhaust tip for the shroud, which is the Reiter Engineering carbon shroud here, which has been lacquered by Gaz. It's not finished, still has some profiling work to do to fill these a little bit more because it's a bit too curved. So there's a bit more work to do here, but you can see it's a lovely, lovely piece of work already. So yeah, more on that later. And I nearly forgot, you actually made this bit as well, didn't you?
Yeah,
which I think we mentioned in the last video.
Yeah, I think it's shown. It's still got to be flatted, possibly an extra layer.
Yeah.
Just to strengthen it up some more, but and then flat and lacquer it hopefully, and it should give the same finish as the spoiler.
Yeah. This is the temporary one still. This is temporary engine lid there, or exhaust lid as it is. The engine is there. So that's temporary whilst you just flatten off the panel.
Carbon one's there, it's been sort of resurfaced. Carbon panels tend to always show ripples in them. It doesn't matter how well they're made, there's always going to be imperfections in it once you've painted it.
Yeah.
So we sort of resurfaced it, primed it. We're kind of letting that settle, but I didn't want to trim the holes in it until I've got the final mounts on for the spoiler, just in case there's a slight difference.
An adjustment, required.
I'd rather get the mounts in correct, check it all on the sort of mock-up one.
Yeah.
And we can cut it once hopefully.
Yeah, excellent. Yeah, and sort of, I'm not going to go into complete boring detail. I know some of you would love it, but most people don't. But like even mounting the bumper has been a big challenge again. That we've had to have like some parts made, haven't we?
Yeah, the original one uses like quite a big cross member integrated into the bumper, so it's all mounted straight to the chassis. Whereas this one, it doesn't. So we had this piece behind here made, bit of heat protection as well as a good bumper support. So it takes all the weight in the middle of the bumper and stops all that moving.
Yeah.
Hopefully won't melt the number plate lights.
Yeah.
Which you don't get on a race car.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we've got two final mounts to go in there, which we're going to include it as part of the sort of heat shielding to separate the sort of heat from the fans.
Yeah, it's kind of two
exhaust as well.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt. Yeah, there's like two plates that basically sit and do all of the vertical support there, because it's not only this that's creating the downforce. There'll actually be lots caused by that as well. So it needs to be very securely mounted. So yeah, these plates will be going on. Then there's some strap there and what will become the tow eye. Number plate, almost forgot. Yeah, we briefly mentioned it there, but yeah, first, number plate.
Version 1 of it. We've had to basically take it apart to get all the paint stripped off it and work out how we was going to do it. So we've made a surround for the plate out of carbon, and then kind of hot glued it back together at the minute just so we can work out exactly how it's going to sit. It does need to be properly bonded in. But it's kind of going to sit like that. It's tidy all the edges up and give it all a coat of lacquer, and it should blend in really well with the rest of it.
I really wanted to keep the as much as I could of the standard vented panel on the back bumper of the R-GT bumper. So yeah, this idea that I had, I know it's another one that's caused you a load of torture, but I think it's well worth it, and it should just look
visually it should look really good.
Yeah. Super happy. So I think that probably covers everything. Maybe, probably not. I've probably missed loads and loads of little details on the car, but as a roundup, a quick catch up of where we are at now compared to the last video, which was I guess 6 to 8 weeks ago, something like that. I think it's probably enough information for you. It might be a really long video. If it is and you made it this far, thank you very much. As always, give us a like on the video, and if you're not subscribed, please make sure that you consider subscribing, because yeah, this is going to be gaining momentum a little bit now, I think, and Gaz is hoping to have it in primer in the next week or so. So that'll be super exciting, and obviously we'll bring that to you if possible. My personal Instagram is PhilMorrisonDW, and Gaz you can find here. As always, check out driftworks.com if you want any merch or anything like that. We haven't got a Lamborghini t-shirt yet, but we've got plenty of other ones, mugs and all sorts. So yeah, check that out. And yeah, we'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Break it on down.